You know, there's this incredible journey happening inside you right now, and you probably don't even give it a second thought. I'm talking about the massive expedition your food takes from the very first bite to to the final stop. This isn't just about feeling full, it's one of the most amazing processes in all of biology, and we're going to follow it every single step of the way. It seems like such a simple question, doesn't it? You eat, you feel satisfied, you go about your day. But what is really going on in that black box between your mouth and the final exit? Well, in this explainer, we're going to trace that exact path and uncover all the secrets of your body's amazing internal food processor. All right, so before we dive in, let's talk about the big picture. What's the whole point of all this? The best way to think about your digestive system is like a high-performance fuel factory that's running 24/7. Digestion is just the process of taking in raw materials, an apple, a sandwich, and turning them into the energy and building blocks your body absolutely needs to survive. And this factory, it has a really clear 5-step assembly line. It all starts with ingestion. That's just getting the food in the door. Then comes the real work, digestion, breaking it all down. After that, metabolism turns that food into usable energy. And then the crucial step, absorption, which is pulling all those amazing nutrients into your bloodstream. And finally, you have elimination, which is just getting rid of whatever's left over. These 5 steps, that's the whole game plan. Now, to get the job done, our body uses a two-pronged attack. On one hand, you've got physical digestion. This is the brute force, the chewing, the grinding, the stomach churning. On the other hand, you have chemical digestion, which is way more sophisticated. This is where enzymes and acids dissolve food at a molecular level, and you absolutely need both working in perfect harmony. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This slide looks like a page torn out of a biology textbook. But don't worry about all the labels. Just focus on 2 parts. That central tube, that's the main highway, the GI tract. It's the actual path the food travels. But just as important are the helpers, listed there as accessory organs. Think of them as the essential pit crew, providing all the tools needed for a successful trip. And our journey begins now. The gates open, food enters the mouth, and believe it or not, the breakdown process starts immediately. This is not a waiting room, it's the first active processing station on the line. And the very first job has a fancy name, mastication. That's just the technical term for chewing. It's our first, and you could argue one of the most important acts of physical digestion. We're taking big chunks of food and turning them into a paste that's way easier for the rest of the system to handle. It's all about teamwork in the mouth. Your teeth are the grinders, doing all the cutting and tearing. At the exact same time, your saliva kicks off the chemical attack with enzymes. And your tongue? It's the master coordinator, mixing it all together and pushing it into position for the next move. So that next move is called propulsion, which is really just a fancy word for swallowing. And this isn't just gravity taking over. It's a super complex, coordinated muscle movement that sends the food on its way, making sure it goes down the right pipe and officially enters the GI tract. And where does it go? Straight into the esophagus. It's about a 25-centimeter long muscular tube. Honestly, you can just think of it as a water slide for your food. No digestion happens here at all. Its only job is to get food from point A, the mouth, to point B, the stomach. And it does it fast, in just a few seconds. After that quick trip down the water slide, our food arrives at the next major stop. And if the mouth was the prep station, the stomach is the chemical cauldron. This is where things get really, really intense. So here's our stomach. You can see its unique J shape. It's basically a muscular, expandable bag that's designed to hold everything you just ate. Food doesn't just pass through here, it hangs out for about 2 to 4 hours, getting churned, mixed, and seriously broken down. Now, get ready for this number. The pH inside your stomach is somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5. To put that into perspective for you, that is incredibly acidic. We're talking stronger than lemon juice, almost as acidic as battery acid. And this harsh environment is absolutely essential for what has to happen next. So this acid bath has a few key jobs. First, it churns everything into a soupy mix called chyme. That hydrochloric acid also destroys most of the nasty bacteria you might have accidentally swallowed. This is also where protein digestion gets started in a big way, thanks to an enzyme called pepsin. And finally, the stomach acts like a bouncer, slowly releasing that chyme into the next part of the journey.
All right, if our food survived the stomach's acid, it now enters the most critical phase of the entire trip. Welcome to the small intestine, the true nutrient powerhouse of your body. This is where we collect the prize.
And when I say powerhouse, I mean it. Coiled up inside you right now is your small intestine, and if you were to stretch it out, it would be a staggering 5 to 7 meters long. That's over 16 feet. It's longer than most cars. And all that length creates a massive surface area for its main job, absorption. But as powerful as it is, the small intestine can't do this job by itself. It relies on that pit crew of accessory organs we talked about earlier. And there are two key players that show up right at this stage. First up is the pancreas. Now, don't worry about all the details on the diagram. The main thing you need to know is that the pancreas is the ultimate enzyme factory. It pumps out this specialized juice that is loaded with enzymes designed to break down everything: carbs, fats, and proteins. It's like the master key that unlocks all the nutrients. And here's its partner in crime, the liver, our body's master chemist. The liver's biggest contribution to digestion is producing something called bile. Bile is basically like dish soap for fats. It takes big blobs of fat and breaks them up into tiny little droplets so the enzymes from the pancreas can actually attack them. So, with the help of the pancreas and the liver, the small intestine becomes the site of the main event. This is it. This is the payoff. All that hard work of chewing and churning pays off right here, as all those tiny nutrient molecules, vitamins, minerals, everything good, pass through the intestinal wall and into your bloodstream to fuel your entire body. Okay, the valuable cargo has been delivered. But the journey's not quite over. We now move into the final leg of the GI tract, the large intestine. Its job is to handle everything that got left behind. This final section is the large intestine, or the colon, and its main job is to be the cleanup and recycling center for our factory. It takes all the indigestible stuff left over from the small intestine and starts getting it ready for disposal. And its tasks are absolutely critical. First, it absorbs most of the remaining water from the waste, which is vital for keeping you hydrated. It's also home to trillions of good bacteria that actually help produce certain vitamins for us. And finally, it compacts whatever's left into stool, getting it ready for the final step, elimination. And just like that, our food's long journey comes to an end. From a simple bite to this incredibly complex cascade of mechanics and chemistry, spanning almost 30 feet of internal plumbing, this whole amazing factory is running inside you every single day without you having to think about it once. So the only question left is, what kind of fuel are you giving it to work with?